All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to want to fasten your seatbelts for this one because this game was absolutely insane. Um, if there were really good players on the enemy team, no way this would happen, but you will see what happens at the end of this one, towards the end of this one, right? It's going to be incredible. So we're on Oyster Bay in the WZ-131, the Tier 7 Chinese light tank. And this vehicle is really good, man. The only thing I don't like about it is the gun. The accuracy of the gun is kind of poor. It's really just, if you fully aim your shots, it's not bad, but it's the aiming time on this thing. You really need to run V-Stab. So that's why I run Bounty V-Stab on this thing. I know you can't really see this, it's behind my camera, but I have Bounty Optics, Bounty Low Noise Exhaust, and Bounty V-Stab with the rations. And I am running Brothers in Arms on this crew, though it's not full. I think it's at like 80%. But with the WZ-131, what I'm doing right now and why I'm sitting in the back is because we have Type 64 and an AMX-13 FL11 like right here doing the spotting. So again, I always tell you guys, people are always asking me, Whirls, what do you do when there's multiple light tanks? I camp. I just camp. Like, I don't care, man. Whatever, people can say whatever they want. Oh, Whirls, why don't you go to the other side of the map? Like, that's a brawling sector. Why don't you go to this bush over here on the map? I don't like it because when you come up here, usually you get spotted by the person that's sitting, enemy light tank that's sitting over here. So I just do damage, man. And we hit the JP there for 206, and I'm just camping. That's all I'm doing. And it's very likely, too, that from this area, I can even spot people that might cross way back here with my view range, right? It would be close, but even if I don't, then I'll spot them as they come up further, right? Like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just going to camp for now because, in my opinion, there's no reason for me to be out where two other light tanks are sitting. This is where I always like to go, and if someone else is sitting there, then I'll just use my gun. So that's what we're doing here. I'm going to fast forward kind of as we get to the better parts of this game. Here's the T1. This guy must be a tourist, man. I don't know what this boy is doing. I thought maybe this was a baboon salute and he was just doing something really dumb at first, but I don't know if this guy has bad connection or I have no idea what this guy is doing, man. But we're able to clean him up, and the rest of the team is able to get shots as well. I'm spotted here. I'm just going to tuck back behind the rock, and it's very likely that their enemy lights, like I said, are going to be sitting in this bush right here where my cursor is. So we get a shot into the T67, and a Tier 7 hitting for like 200 against the Tier 5 T67, like you're going to eliminate almost a third of his HP with one hit. So here's the AMX-13 FL11. We assume that he was sitting there. In fact, he really is. And then the Type 62 appears, and guess what? The Type 62 is in this enemy position, and this is why I'd rather not, man. I'd rather not go out there. Like, just let the enemy light tanks get spotted first, and it's not as if our team isn't spotting, right? The Type 64 is sitting in pretty much the best spotting location. He's able to outspot people. Whirls, why aren't you spotting? Because this guy's right here, man. Like, I don't need to do anything, right? Type 64 has just as much view range as me. I mean, in my opinion, the Type 64 is almost a Tier 6.5, right? Like, head to head, this guy would probably eliminate my tank. That's how good the DPM is with the Type 64 compared to the WZ-131 at one tier higher, right? So I'm getting spotted again here, and now I'm almost positive. Like, AMX-13 FL11 is sitting in this bush again, and we just kind of have to wait things out, man. Like, there's nothing else you can do as a light tank that's safe, right? Wait for the enemies to make mistakes first, guys. And Type 62 is now approaching here. VK is kind of knocking me back here, but I'm going to eventually try and counter this guy until the M4A1 comes up, and I'm like, all right, maybe like I could stay here. Like, it really just depends on what's going to happen with enemy players, right? If the 13 FL11 is going to try and push in, then I'm going to try and push in. And then I noticed the Type 62 also runs back over to this side of the map. I'm sorry, guys, I don't mean to make you dizzy. I like to dance and poke around, right? That's what I do. I just constantly like WS, WS, WS. I don't know. It just keeps me engaged in the game. It's like people that bite their fingernails or something, which I think is gross, but it's just one of those habits, right? So it's 2-8, and the Type 62 has run away, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to stay and fight at this point. I need to use my gun. Like, that's the only way we're going to bring this game back is if I'm using my gun anyway. We're at 1128 damage and 218 assist. I'm going to try and keep my Type 64 alive as long as I possibly can, because I know this guy has good view range and good mobility, and that's what we're going to need if we're even going to come close in winning this game, or at least getting a draw out of it, or at least making it close in the first place, right? So that's what I want to do. I'm waiting for the T67 to poke. I know he will poke. So I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting, guys. I know he's going to poke this. So I'm just waiting for it. He pokes. I hit him in the... wherever he has armor, apparently. I guess it was in the track, and apparently I can't pen this guy. But I knew he was going to poke, so I just wait for it, right? Sometimes you just know. Like, he's going to poke it. So I'm waiting here. Again, Type 64 is still in front of me. We're trying to get as much damage as we can before we have to retreat, right? So continue to poke it. Continue to poke the bush line. Continue to poke on the side of this rock. Just keep poking, poking, poking. Poking this whole area. Caro ends up appearing there. I'm able to get a shot into him. We're at 1342 damage, and I think by damage we're doing fine, right? Still trying to support my Type 64. I'm poking in the bush line, making sure no one's coming after him. I'm poking the rock again, making sure the T-67 isn't coming around, and then the T-67 comes around. We hit him again. Armor not hit. Like, what armor, dude? I don't know what armor we're actually hitting, but apparently we hit it twice. And I didn't know the T-67 had armor. Caro's going to hit me, Caro, whatever. I'm going to run away from here now because I feel like I'm just very exposed here. T-78 is poking as well, and I feel like I need to just get out of this area, because if I'm going to get spotted again, now the Caro has an angle on me, and we need to retreat so we can get to somewhere, get to some place where I have hard cover basically all around, right? So I'm going to continue to retreat, I'm going to go into the water here. I almost drown. Don't drown. And poke up on this little corner right here, right? So I poke on this corner, then I realize the tiger is here. Like, how the heck this tiger made it all the way around? I mean, I know how. It's kind of a crazy play that he made here. So now we're going to try and go around this tiger. I thought I was able to get one into him here. Maybe into the hatch. Kind of a lucky shot to get into the hatch there. And we're going to continue running away from this guy. Here's where you guys need to fasten your seatbelts, man, because this is going to be absolutely insane, right? Type 64 is going to go down here to AMX 13FL11, JP, and VK. We're able to focus a shot into the tiger. It's a low roll, unfortunately, but even if we hit a perfectly middle roll with 200, I think is the damage on this vehicle, he still would have been at a few HP. So now T-78 is pushing in here, and I'm like, all right, this is a loss, man. You know, this is a loss. There's just nothing I can do with this. Let me go after the T-78. I will eliminate the T-78 first, and then we'll come back around and go after the tiger. So I'm going to take the shot from the T-78, because at this point, like, the thing is, man, I could sit here for a second, get unspotted, and then poke this bush, but you need to start eliminating. The thing is, guys, you need to eliminate people as fast as you possibly can once you lose, like, everyone on your team, right? Because eventually these guys are going to push in, and it's going to be a situation where you're going to be overwhelmed. So it's almost worth it, in my opinion, to take a shot. I take one from the T-78 and eliminate him immediately, so now I know that the tiger's going to be pushing into me as well, and I can hopefully eliminate him and then go dark before other people push in, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, you want to kill people as quickly as possible, because if you don't, then you get they'll start ganging up on you. So I actually didn't even really think about this, but I was running through these bushes here, so I didn't initially get spotted, and now I kind of have to jump on the tiger here, so I'm able to eliminate him, and then I'm spotted again. So now people know where I am, they know what direction I'm going into, so I like to go back the other direction. I'm trying to throw people off, I'm turning around all over the place, and then the JP appears. I'm going to auto-lock him, clean him up, turn around again. I don't want to put myself out in the open, so we just stay back here, right? AMX 13FL11 appears. I'm going to sling a shell into him. I'm going to go around him, take a shot into him, it ricochets off the turret. You know, RNG, man, like, what the heck. And now I have to take another shot from the AMX. I'm just going to take it at this point. Like, honestly, I'm not going to try and get fancy. Again, trying to eliminate these people as quickly as possible. And now, because I've continued to use my HP and eliminate these people as soon as possible instead of trying to get all fancy, right, because they were one-shots, except for the AMX, we end up facing people one-on-one, right? That's the mistake this team made, and you'll see this in a lot of videos. People will just all rush in at different times, and if you have a good, like, damage per shot and you get a jump on all these people because they were one-shots, you can just clean them up. Just auto-lock them and shoot, auto-lock them and shoot, auto-lock them and shoot. And this enemy team was really dumb because they didn't push in together, right? So that's why I use my HP like that, and why I was explaining that to you guys at the beginning is I like to eliminate people, use my HP and eliminate people as soon as possible so that you're more likely to get this one at a time type thing, right? Artie's are trying to both hit me here. I'm poking this bush just briefly to see if someone else is coming around, and then the Caro appears here. And I don't know how the heck, like, this guy just did not aim fast enough, but we're able to turn and lock him and get a shot into him. He was just really slow, right, man? Like, honestly, I'm at 6 kills, but I've been lucky enough already with all these people running in one by one. Now it's like, this is go time, man. We have 2 Artie. I need to reset the cap and do things properly now and play with more skill rather than luck. But I think we've showed some skill, but I think a lot of this is luck. Teammate, enemies pushing in one by one, right? That's going to happen. So I'm going to come up here. I see the VK and I know this guy thinks I'm going to come from here. That's why I went all the way around so I can get this angle on him. We're able to eliminate him. This Hellcat keeps saying LOL after every time I kill someone. 7 kills we're at, guys, and now we just need to eliminate both Arties. If you're on the enemy team, never rush in one by one like this. It's the stupidest thing you could do, man. And this AMX13FL11 was a good player. He likely, he's over here, he likely could have thrown this for his team, man. And in fact, he did. Because we're going to win this one, guys. So we're going to keep advancing here, and now I have to be really, really careful. This is a lot harder than it looks. Arties aren't very accurate, guys, but the thing is, they only need to splash me at this point. You know, the GW especially just needs to splash me. I don't know if the Leaf can really splash, and then we're missing this shot here, and it's just like, I actually thought I was spotted. Maybe I did get spotted there. I guess I did. So I try and auto-lock this guy. We miss him the first time, and then the second time we hit his track. And this is what I mean with this gun, man. It's like, dude, like, I aim right in the middle of a GW Panther, and I can't even pen him. It's like, what is that? What is that crap, man? So I know I can beat the GW here, so I'm just going to lock him there and take that shot. And we eliminate the GW. Luckily, he missed. And now we have to sit behind this rock, kind of wait for a minute. And then I'm going to run this way, try and go after the Leaf. Leaf ends up over here. Go to 1x, guys. See if we can find this LEF. He appears right here. I'm spotted because the Leafs actually have decent view range. I'm going to turn here. There's 1 minute left, and I'm like, this could be a draw, man. Like, I don't know. I can't even take a splash from this guy. So I'm going to wait. This is what I do. You see how fancy I am with this? I sit right here, and I kind of like, I'm going to use my phone as my tank, right? I kind of like do this, like inch, like I'm going to poke right here, and then as soon as I go dark, so as soon as he goes dark, I know I go dark, and then I go to this corner right here, because he's going to be looking right here, waiting for me to poke, right? So I'm able to do that, confuse him, get the first shot, and now it's a 1-1 thing, right? Like if he gets one shot into me, I'm dead. If I get one shot to him, he's dead. He misses that shot, I poke out, take the time to focus my shot, right? Because I don't want this one to bounce like the others. And we clean him up, and Type 64 says GG, and in fact it was a very GG, man. So 15k WN8, guys, 9 kills, 3,175 damage, 438 assists. Again, if this team didn't push in one by one, this game was over 5 minutes ago. I'm not trying to brag at all by this performance. This game would have been a loss 5 minutes ago if even 2 people pushed into me at one time, right? Like, it would have been a BG, right? A bad game. But sometimes this happens, man. You just get really lucky. The enemy team is really dumb. And, you have some skill, right? But I think a good amount of it is luck when it comes to people pushing in one by one like idiots, man. Don't do that, man. Just stick with people when you push into an enemy tank. But 9 kills, guys. This is one of those games for the books. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed. That's how I did the things on Oyster Bay with the WZ-131. This was a mastery. We got a lot of badges here, but the 2 that I always recognize are Top Gun and High Caliber, and we killed 2 Arties, right? So Pascucci's is in there as well. And then I think it's like Radley Walters or something like that is 8 to 9 kills in a game. And yeah, man, this was a heck of a performance. 45 damage, guys, 11 module damage, 9 kills, 438 assists on top of it. Ace, Wanker, and what else is there to see, man? You guys can see this. My team wasn't that great, but their team did a lot of stupid stuff while pushing into me, man. I just love when people push in one by one. It's like so stupid, man. Like, just wait for a teammate and push in together, right? But yeah, 6 unique badges, man. 1645 experience. That better be a mastery. And excuse me, here's the detailed report, guys. We made 7 gold from the Watt Plus. I really like this Watt Plus subscription, man. I know people are like, oh, board gaming coming out with a subscription. They're making people pay. And I'm like, hey, man, what would you do if you were them, right? I think it's a great idea. I love the Watt Plus personally, but I can understand why some people might think that way. 14 minutes and 30 seconds. So we finished this game up with about 35 seconds because, again, there's some time that ticks off after you get that last kill. Or you cap out. So we had about 35, maybe like 40 seconds left. We're able to make this work, man. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just mind blown by like the amount of kills I can get in one game, you know, and like actually carry a game. 9 kills, man. I mean, this was just insane, guys. Absolutely insane. 33 shots we fired this game. And like when you think about that one by one, like over the course of 14 minutes, it makes sense. But when you think about it, like bang, 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 like you, in your mind, you're playing out 33 shots. Like, man, I really took 33 shots. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it helps you out on Oyster Bay, even though this was a pretty lucky performance. Catch you for the next one. Take care of yourselves until then, and bye-bye now.